Welcome back to our research series on human-centric robotics. In this series, we are exploring the uncharted, wild, steep lands of robotics where the robots are designed to work alongside humans, with humans, and for humans. This week is the last week of 2025, and I'm coming to you from the Centennial Park in Sydney, Australia. As Hegel once described, the Geist is the manifestation of the collective self-consciousness of humanity. I know, that's a hard, heavy concept, but along sharing my journey through public YouTube videos, I found a way of connecting with the Geist. And through this connection, I could be more human. I could be more creative. But before I analyze the videos from the past year, I want to make it clear why I'm doing this. Why I'm documenting my journey on the steep lands of robotics through YouTube videos. I will share the main three objectives of doing and documenting this research. You know, there is a well-known concept that unless you can explain a topic to a child, you truly didn't understand it yet. So by sharing my journey and explaining my work here, I gain clarity. I learn how to simplify complex ideas. Plus, I improve my presentation skills. You know, walk and talk is not easy. It is much harder to talk about the topic while you're walking. It is much easier to sit down in a quiet room and reading off the notes. The reason I'm doing the walk and talk is that it keeps me alive. It keeps me connected to the nature. The thing that I've realized is that everything is in the active motion. Everything is changing. For example, look at the tree. Look at this huge tree. You see, the leaves, the light, the branches, the location of it, everything is in the always changing motion. So you might ask me, hey Rasul, what are you talking about? Why do you suddenly bring this topic of change? Well, reality is in a constant change, which is what I call as a flux of reality. When I go outside, when I connect with the nature, I am being in the present moment. I'm realizing that there is only now moment exists. There is no past and there is no future. There is only the now moment, which is unique. Look at this tree. It seems that it is the same tree as a moment ago, but in fact it is not. Well, obviously, as human beings, we cannot calculate in the decimals point how much it has changed. That's why we assume that it is the same tree. The nature gives me the ability to be connected, to be more human rather than the machine. Therefore, I decided to do the harder option. That's the source. That is the secret ingredient. The ingredient is going out into the wild and talking off you go and thinking off you go and being part of that flux and appreciating that every now moment will never repeat again. It keeps me more real. That's what I like. That's what I'm seeing the benefit. And that's the second benefit of making videos in a walkie-talkie manner. Well, what's the third benefit? Well, third benefit is quite personal. In 50 years' time, I'll be quite old and hopefully I will be gathered with grandchildren around me. And then they ask me a question. Hey, Grandpa, let's watch the third episode of yours while you were doing your PhD. Well, then I will be quite happy because now I can be an example for my grandkids in the future. Then hopefully they will ask questions. And one of the possible questions could be, hey, Grandpa, why did you think about this? Why did you think in this manner? Or hey grandpa, why you have thought about the things that you've done? That's a third one, is to leave a legacy, leave something for next generation of grandkids, grandchildren. And I believe that's a motivation of me doing this work, recording, going into the wild and really connecting with the nature. And hopefully in 50 years time, I won't be that a grumpy man. You know, like I'll be as less grumpy as possible, hopefully. So we'll see. Well, these are the three main objectives of making the videos. Now, let me tell you another stuff that I found interesting, but I was not expecting this beforehand. In every video, I found mistakes. In every video, I find that I could have been more articulated. I could have been more expressive in the videos, more real. Well, these are the things that I want to improve. I don't have any video which 100% perfection. So that's a good thing, that it shows me that there are things that I can improve as long as I want to do so. And I want to do so. That's one thing. Another thing that I realized I was not expecting is the Sydney environment. Well, you know, I walk around the city, I walk around the parks, the beautiful spots in Sydney, and the background. The people in the background are cheerful, they're kissing each other, they're waving at the camera. Those are the things I don't really see, but because I'm looking forward. But those are the things that makes these videos quite unique, quite in the moment, quite dynamic. That's what I like. You know, like, and when I sit down and start editing the videos, I realize, well, what the heck was going on in the background? You know, I thought I was just walking around and walking forward with a hyper focus, talking about the topic, but in the background, people are just waving, kissing, and having fun. Well, I think one of the things that I think what's happening is people think that I'm a famous person. You know, the guy, they don't see this kind of stuff every day usually, right? So they see a guy holding a camera and walking while talking. They think that I'm a famous YouTuber, a famous person that talks about the topics, right? And then one of the things could be that. But they really don't know that I'm just an ordinary guy with a camera and talking my technically complex ideas and thoughts, topics. That's one thing I think is happening. Another thing is the Sydney is quite a beautiful city. I think it's a unique to the Sydney environment. The people, the enthusiasm, the excitement, people are always in the top notch. I don't think I would see this kind of activities and the enthusiasm as I've seen in Sydney anywhere else in the world. So I'm quite grateful and quite happy that I am in Sydney doing my research and making videos. So the quality is already also shared by the people who happen to join in the videos. For example, see, I was just walking and then came across some of the guys who play red light, green light.
Jesse's not the green person. Get out! Show me that.
Hey, good boy. What's her name?
Archie.
Archie.
It's a boy.
Boy, oh, nice. Hey, Archie. Good boy. We have a dog as well.
Yeah.
Chihuahua.
Chihuahua.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Yeah, cute. Very demanding.
Yeah.
Always wants to.
But very small.
Very small ones.
Tiny
Yeah,
ones.
yeah, tiny.
Yeah.
Then when I go home, they turn their belly up and they want the massage.
Yeah, that's so cute.
If I don't do so, they start barking. Chicho, his name is Chicho.
Chicho?
Chicho, yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's 5-6 years old.
Okay, so he's still a bit young.
Getting old. When I came to Sydney, he was younger than me. Now he's older than me.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
But in Tokyo, they also 7 times, so it's 5 times 7, right?
Yeah. So which means that their one day is corresponding to 1 week in human life.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
He likes you.
Yeah. The dogs love the massage.
Oh, they do. That is a true story. But we do too.
I'm recording a video.
Are you? Oh,
Yeah, I'm recording my journey through PhD research.
okay.
Yeah. I'm doing robotics.
Robotics.
Yeah, I'm working on robotics and making robots useful.
Wow. You're at the city of Sydney.
Now UTS.
Oh, UTS.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So her music is now her poetry. She put her poetry to the music.
Yeah.
And she's like, so she can never go on a tour.
Yeah. Yeah. Becoming famous is a burden.
So she's this black woman. She's black herself. She's this very sexy black avatar. Woman she's created. Who's standing there singing because she put her poems to this music, and has got a $3 million contract.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bubble, right? People are spending tons of money for AI, any kind of AI. But really, especially when AI is coming to the video creation or to the music,
Yeah.
the art in video and music is just destroyed.
Yeah, absolutely.
If there is one thing that I want to make it clear, that thing would be that I'm not making these videos because they are 100% scientifically accurate. I'm making these videos so that I can make a mistake. If there is a failure, wrongness, or mistake, which from my point of view is a great opportunity for an improvement, then I believe in the future, as time passes, we'll get to more accurate, more correct depiction of the ideas and topics I share here. Plus, the reason I started this way is because it is part of the self-exploration. It is part of going through this steep lands of robotics and sharing the experience on this journey. Imagine this, like if I get 100% accuracy in the first go, then, sorry, there is nothing else to improve, which is bad, which is not what I want. See, I will share a graph here. Recently, Science have published an article saying that the world-class achievers, they start with slow progress. So that slow progress is a result of making more mistakes and exploring the self, which results in a lower progress. Same goes for articles. Look at this graph. The more citations the researcher gets early in their career will have a linear increase in citations, but they won't be the world class. The world class researcher are the ones who have less amount of citations early in their career, then improved a number of exponential increase in number of citations. Similarly, the way I look at this steep lands of robotics is it's a slow progress. It requires multidisciplinary viewpoint and application, which takes time, which takes an exploration of the field. That's why I call it as a steep lands. It is vast, it is uncharted, it is wild, and not most of the people can strive to go into this region because, you know, it's not safe as well. But people who go onto the journey on the steep lands, who finishes, will finish high. Now let's talk about the fun part. There is a quote that I really admire. Like what you do and do not do what you like. So if I really don't enjoy making videos, I wouldn't do it. The way I get enjoyment and the way I create something that I like throughout doing these videos is putting Easter eggs in the videos, such as putting a hidden message or putting AI-generated posters. To wrap up, I want to answer some of the questions that's been raised by the audience on my last video, where I made a presentation in front of the audience at the university. And the presentation topic was how to elevate the PhD research. And let's go through the questions. The first question is, do you have a script during your walk and talk? You know, I really don't. I really don't have a script. What I have instead is a bullet points. And those bullet points help me to cover all the things that I want to cover in the particular video. The second question is, how do you structure the topics? During the day, I come across to some of the questions that others ask me, or some of the ideas that we share with other researchers at the university, or even walking outside and meeting, greeting people and talking with people. I realize that there are things that are missing from my answer to the questions. Then I immediately take a note and study, research about it, and convert that into bullet points that I can present in the upcoming video. One of the interesting things that I realize and go with it is I know that these questions, these thoughts and ideas coming from others or coming from myself and asking myself are not planned. Because it's not planned and it happened to come to me, I know that they are coming from the Geist. Therefore, I really make it sure that I'm not missing any of those ideas because of being part and connected to the Geist. The third question, what do you want to achieve in 10 years' time? Well, that's an interesting question, isn't it? Well, I really don't think about the future of that long, because whenever I start to construct the future, I start into the realm of predictions. I enter to the realm of predictions, which is really not the best way to live the life. What if you want to really answer is the best strategy that would never fail is a strategy to minimize expectations. So you just have to make sure that you're minimizing the expectations, and the rest will never disappoint. And someone commented, "Go with the flow is really a nice sentiment." Well, thank you. Thank you for that comment. It is a quite fascinating sentiment, isn't it? Going with the flow. But in fact, that sentence or quote is not brought up by me. First, a thinker or philosopher, I would say, lived 500 years BC. His name was Heraclitus. He was the first person who brought the topic of saying that everything is in constant change, or reality is a flux. And here's a famous quote saying, I'm rephrasing that, is, "No two men enter to the same river twice." So meaning that the river is flowing and the water you see is not the same water a moment ago. So everything is in a constant flux. That is what it means by that. He means by that quote. Nietzsche have a famous quote as well, "Amor fati," love your fate, love the fate, which means that you go with the flow, you embrace the things that come across you. It's not about acceptance of the things, but it's about embracing and improving yourself based on the events that are coming. For example, the third question was about how do you structure. So I come across to the certain questions and certain aspects, certain ideas in my life. And those are the things that coming from the Fati, or the fate, love the fate. That's what Nietzsche said. So you just have to embrace them. Lao Tzu have stated in the Taoism that going with the flow, going with the flux is the way to live the life, a meaningful life. Yeah. So what is the last question? Do you think this will have a societal impact? Do you think this will have a societal impact? Well, I really don't know. I really don't know whether making these videos have a societal impact, and am I keen to know it? Well, not really. I really don't want to live in the world of predictions. I don't want to live in the world of thoughts that's been be constructed. But I want to live in the world of now moments. I want to live in a world where realizing and going with the flow and being in the instant now moment is appreciated the most. That's a life I would want to live. That's what I have to be making sure and taking the greatest responsibility for. And you know, it's written. So we will see what will happen. And that's it from this video today. And thanks for a long video and watching this long video and really being part of the video. I really enjoyed doing this, and I had the mind of making this something unique like this. And I really appreciate your time spent here. As always, thanks for watching. And I will see you soon in the next video. Or in fact, in the next year. Or see you next year.